series and not being able to get out?
I'm sorry, it was loud. Say that one more time.
So could you talk about just the overall frustration of not being able to finish it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was tough. It was tough. I think we were just talking about the point differential. I think it was +1 them. I think that's probably one of the closest series that I've been in my young career. So, it was tough. That was a well-fought series. I mean, hats off to them. Those guys, they made shots. They made big-time shots, and we just talked about it. Josh Hart made big-time shots game 1. He made big-time shots game 6. Got the ball at Jalen Brunson's hands at the end, and, he hit a big one.
Big story with that team is those guys all played college together and the continuity they have. You guys have now been through this battle together. How much are you thinking about the partnership of you two as you start thinking about the offseason and things ahead?
I mean, if I remember correctly, in training camp early, this year, that's the first thing I mentioned. Every single year has always been, one person comes in, and then the following year they're gone. Same thing just kept happening. Just kept happening the last few years, and this is really the first time where you got him, and obviously he's taking a step, and he was amazing. This year, one of the 10 best players in the world this year. So, and then now you finally get the chance to build around it, where you got this guy as young as he is, and you have people like myself and some of the other guys we have in the locker room, and you got a lot of cap space to make it happen. So I think one of the big things when it comes to winning is, I mean, you look at all the teams that have won. You can't just put people together for 1 year and hope that it's going to work out. So obviously we have some experience together, and then so I think that's the way to go. You just got to keep going, keep building around it, and find the right mix of people to make it happen. But yeah, I'm excited.
Joel, you mentioned kind of that continuity thing. There have been a lot of versions of the team since you've been here. There was Bully Ball 1 year, and there was, Jimmy here 1 year, and you guys going top heavy.
Like I said, all of them lasted 1 year.
Right.
That's the problem. So I mean, you look at who won last year, Denver. They won last year. Jamal, Nicola. They've been together for 8 years, something like that, 7. You look at some of the teams that I won, Golden State Warriors. They're been together for a long time. So I don't remember the last time you just put a team together and hope that it worked out for 1 year. So that's needed.
So my question is, do you have a better sense after all that time and all those attempts of what kind of team and what kind of players you need to have here to make it
That's
work?
not my job. That's on those guys. That's what they get paid for. Our job is to get better as basketball players. Every single year we find a way. I found a way to get better. He's gotten so much better, and I think there's another step he can even take. Some of the guys in the locker room, they've gotten better. So I think every single year I've gotten better. So I'm excited to keep working on my game, myself, and keep getting better. So, but when it comes to guys around. I like our group of guys. I think we have, an amazing group of guys. Obviously, it didn't work out this year, but we also played a great team. The New York Knicks, they did a great job, and, they played together for a long time. So I like our guys. Obviously, they got a lot of decisions to be made, but I think the group of guys that we had this year, they were amazing, and I still believe that, if everything went right, we had a chance. So, but everything didn't go right.
Tyrese, zooming out on the 4 years that you spent with Joel, when you were a rookie, you used to talk about how in awe you were of him and what he was able to do. And then a couple nights ago, he talked about how he's in awe of you and what you're able to do. Can you sort of take us from point A to point Z of what it's been like to grow with Joel for 4 years?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've seen him do some extraordinary things, honestly. And for me, it's just motivation because, I see him keep working every single summer. I see him come back and he finds a way to get better at something. Like, it's funny, like I used to mess with him last year about how he couldn't shoot right hand hezzy pull-ups. And he's like, I'm going to be able to do it. And he was able to do it. And I just messed with him in the locker room. I was like, I've never seen him in my 4 years actually, like, back someone down and do jump hooks. He was doing that tonight. And it's like he handles the ball. Everything, every time, we ask him to do something different or something special, he always does it. So it's been great. And then just as a partnership, as a friend, as a brother, I appreciate him because, man, he was like, I keep telling everybody, he was one of the first believers in me, like, from day one. Like, he after I talk about the Denver game, the Kobe game, like, I just remember him walking out. He probably won't remember this, but I remember him walking out because he wasn't playing. I always said, can you get 40? I think you can. And go out there and score 40 and try to win. And myself at the time, I'm like, man, I played 8 games in the league. I don't think I'm going to get 40. But, for him to believe me to do something like that, it was special, and I appreciate him.
Tyrese, now going through the experience that you had this season, the role ascension, becoming an all-star, just how does that now inform, just because I know how you're already ready to work in the offseason, like what do you feel like you need to work on now after just the next step that you already took this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I need to work on. I feel like, but reps was the biggest thing for me this season. I got a lot of reps at a lot of different things, especially when Joel went out. I saw a lot of different coverages, a lot of different game plans, a lot of different schemes, and it really made me a better player. Not even just a better player, but a better person, better like basketball mind. I was getting double teamed. I was boxing one. So I think that was really good for me as far as just being able to play through that and knowing when to be aggressive, when to get my teammates involved. So that's something that's going to really help me. I think it really helped me in this playoffs too. I know I didn't play particularly well tonight, but I was pretty prepared for everything that the defense threw at me for the most part. And dang, okay, go ahead. No, don't worry about it. I'm done.
You played hurt a lot, but this series you seem to play not just through it, but with it. Like you didn't let it affect you maybe as much as you have in the past. And you had a 50-point game. You had what you had tonight. What have you learned over your years about, sort of dealing with the cards you're dealt?
Never give up. Gotta keep it going. I think, I mentioned it, a couple of days ago. Can't feel sorry for myself. As long as I can play and, jump even a little bit and I can be on the floor, I feel like my presence is enough. Even if I can't jump and I can't move the way I want to, or if my body's not responding the way it should be. But I just love to play. I felt like, coming back this year, I could have taken more time to heal and, get back to myself. But I just felt like, I think, mentioning him, the fact that he's on the team, obviously I've known him for a long time. And, I just felt like I didn't want to, give that up. I wanted to, get that opportunity to, be on this stage and, be part of it. And I didn't want to let him down and the whole team too. So I think that's always been my mindset. I've always played through stuff. It's never been an excuse. And, we lost. And it's not an excuse. So, for me, for the most part, I was healthy.
Do you think, kind of on that note, where was the knee? Was this part of, did you have a setback at all? Was this just part of the healing process? And do you think, it can get to a point where you're 100% by next season?
I was healthy. I was good.
With everything that was made about the crowd going into this game, what did you think of Sixers fans tonight? And what would your message be to fans who are disappointed that you're not going on a deep run?
Fans were amazing tonight. Obviously, that jumped on us. They got on a run, and but it's a game of run. We made our run, and the fans did respond. And one thing I'll say is, everybody in our locker room tried. We played hard. I know it wasn't enough. But I can tell you that everybody in our locker room cared. We gave up a lot of offensive rebounds, but it's not because we wanted to. We tried our best. At times we could have tried harder, but sometimes it just doesn't work your way. But like I said, everybody in our locker room cared, and everybody in our locker room wanted to win. And we play so hard, and we push ourselves. I'm just proud of them.
What was it like to work with Coach Nurse for the first year and his staff?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was very interesting. Like, the first day of training camp, or right before the first day of training camp, he brought us all in, and he told us to have an open mind. I think he had, a lot of people, whoever was on that trip, in Colorado, whoever was on that trip that was at that movie theater for that setting and for that scene. So it was great, man. He installed a lot of confidence in his guys. He was very confident in the players that he had. And you just appreciate that from a coach. When a coach really puts confidence in you, and he has the confidence in you to put the ball in anybody's hands and give anybody like the opportunity to score, anybody the opportunity to make plays, it's a big deal, and we appreciate him for that.
Joel, do you have bigger sense of anticipation going forward, knowing that Tyrese has emerged, the coach is settled, you got a ton of cap room to do whatever you want to do with this summer, and that you could come back next year with a true contending team?
Yeah, when you look at it, it kind of looks exciting. Don't know what they're going to do, but they do have a lot of cap space and picks, so they have the opportunity to build something good. But then again, who's going to be available, whether it's free agency and trades. So you can have all those stuff, but you also got to be lucky that something else comes up. That's a great position to be in. You got a young superstar coming in, face of the franchise, for the next, for his whole career really in Philly, coming in, and that's exciting. And myself and trying to build something great here. And then, based on what they do, like I said, I love our guys. I love the guys that we have, and but we just gotta make sure we work on ourselves and come back better as basketball players.
Joel, you mentioned excitement there a few times. I know obviously you're leaving the season earlier than you want to again, but does this feel different because of the emergence of Tyrese and so maybe what Nick Nurse has done and what the position you guys are in for the summer in terms of what you think the potential is?
It sucks to lose. The goal is to win a championship. Anytime that don't happen, that's all I care about. I don't care, if I got to the second round or, that does not mean anything to me. We just didn't accomplish what we wanted to. And, the thing is, we believe in ourselves so much that, we believe that we actually, could have won it. But everything didn't go out the way, we wanted to. Had a lot of different circumstances. But it's also exciting to look at the future, to look what's in front of you. But it's also easier said than done. Got to, be better as a basketball player. I got to be better, starting with myself. The whole series, I could have played better. Maybe if I was, better, we would have won. We would have won it. So that's on me. That's why we lost. So just got to find a way to get better as a basketball player, as a person, as a leader, and come back and hope that everything else aligns. He has a chance to do something special next year again. I hope, he becomes All-NBA this year, but I think, he can be in stuff like MVP conversations. I think he can take that next step. And, and then as far as the rest of the team, based on what they do, whether they bring, some of the guys that we have, especially because we have a lot of free agents, whether they bring them back or they bring new guys, we just got to bring them in and, work with them and, so we make sure that we all on the same page.
Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Tyrese. Thank you, guys.